All right. On to the next story. I totally, in the news stories I usually send to you guys, I meant to put a link to the PlayStation State of Play last week.
Right.
Just be like, hey, let's talk about that. And I forgot, so hopefully you remember.
Spelunky's out in like a month,
yeah, hopefully you remember what happened at that thing, such as Spelunky 2's release date got announced to be like, barely a month from now.
Yeah. They had previously just said it was this year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're running out of year.
Yeah,
so
it's true. It's true. But still,
I think they originally announced it's like 20.
As a wise man once said,
Well,
that's
yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
that is soon.
And that's pretty goddamn exciting. I
hope that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sure looks good. To my mind, that was the biggest thing that they had there. They showed off some Bug Snacks, which is apparently a first-person game.
Yeah.
Showed an awful lot of Godfall. An awful lot.
Weird way. How'd that look? How did that look? That was like the one PS5 thing. Well, I guess Bug Snacks. They showed a little bit of that, but like, but they positioned this as like, hey, it's going to mostly be VR and PS4 stuff. So like, here's like, but also like, hey, Hitman will be in VR.
Yes. So the Hitman, I was leading up to Hitman VR. I'm not sure how I feel about that. That sounds terrifying.
Just imagine like like throwing an object and having it track someone and hit them in the head as they're getting away on a jet.
All right, I'm in. I want
a speedboat.
That's all three Hitmen. Hitman's the recent trilogy of new Hitmen 1, 2, and 3 will all get VR support, which is fucking wild.
VR breaking of necks is like, and choking people out is what this has all been leading up to.
I guess I have to buy new PlayStation Moves finally. Finally, they convinced me.
I don't know where my PlayStation VR headset is. I think it's in the office somewhere, but I have like new, still wrapped up PlayStation Moves over here.
Wow.
So I'm ready to go.
Yep.
Hopefully when they get around to updating VR stuff on the PlayStation side of things, they will have a better solution than those fucking Moves.
Hopefully. The Moves will still work, though. You can just keep moving.
There's another game.
Did Godfall just look like too human?
Yeah, that's what everybody kept saying. I think I've repressed memories of Too Human enough that I couldn't make the comparison.
Smart. Yeah.
Godfall is a looter slasher with a robust loot progression system and has no microtransactions.
God, that's right. They did use the phrase looter slasher, didn't they?
Does it have its own porno subreddit yet, or are we waiting for after launch for that?
I mean, that dude's face does look like a lion, so
great.
We'll get there. I'm quite sure. They showed off a game called Eon Must Die that looked pretty cool. I think it looked kind of a side-scrolling beat-em-up sort of game. Is that what you
really
got out
cool,
of that?
like, stunning visuals,
nice, like kind of neon-looking aesthetic. And then a bunch of accusations were leveled at
like immediately.
Yeah, like it's a little hard to parse because I guess the accusations were leveled at the studio that claims to be putting it out, but the accusations came from the people who say they did all the work on the game without any contracts in place or any payment happening, and that the IP was essentially stolen from them.
And that trailer was made by like another group, right?
Yes, I believe that's the read that I'm getting. It sounds like most of these people that did the work all kind of mass resigned from the studio at some point. They basically claimed unbearable work conditions with endless crunch, harassment, abuse, corruption, and manipulation. The company and the entire IP was covertly taken from the founder. They say that the trailer infringes on the IP of people who have worked on scenes from it without contract and who were not paid at any point. So
this seems like something. I guess, there's like a statement from Focus Home Interactive, which is publishing the game, going like, "We're going to look into this."
Very, very boilerplate, but also yes, as the publisher of this video game.
I feel like that's something that, like, when you're vetting games for your State of Play showcase, you try to figure out on the Sony side.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are we accidentally showcasing a game that someone is going to claim is illegal minutes after we show it?
Well, I mean, from Sony's perspective, they probably just work with somebody at Focus, and that's as far as that. They would expect.
Okay, then
Focus to do the due diligence to make sure that they are publishing a game that is on the up and up, but apparently not.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see
I don't know.
how this stuff shakes out. Obviously,
I have a feeling that Focus might have known about that a little bit before that all happened. It seems like something that would be very hard to just happen in the background, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
If not, then Focus is really bad at vetting the studios they're working with, I guess.
Yes,
I don't know.
at minimum, if all this stuff is true, at minimum, they look negligent in this situation. If not, straight up nefarious, depending on what they knew about it. But I do like that a lot of these accusations were made through a Dropbox that just was made public. That they just uploaded stuff from the game to this Dropbox. They're just like, hey, look at this shit. Fuck this. So, developing story there. I was looking. That's not a PS5 game, right? That's PS4. Yes, that's PS4, Xbox One. That's a current gen game. They also showed a trailer for the second DLC pack for Control. You remember Control? It's a good game.
Yeah.
Yes, AWE, which in my mind stands for the Alan Wake experience. I don't think they've
one of my favorite prog bands.
I don't think they've come out exactly said what it means, but it's Alan Wake. Like they are, that art they put out pitching this DLC like late last year, I think.
Yeah, when they put out the roadmap, but here's what's coming to Control. Like it was very much like here's the Alan Wake thing.
Yes, so
and there's references to
it
in the game.
There's tons of Alan Wake stuff in Control proper, so that stuff is not surprising at all. What is kind of surprising is that after this trailer went up, Sam Lake from Remedy, Max Payne himself, put up this blog post saying or AWE, the first Remedy Connected Universe crossover event. And he basically goes on to, the tagline, we love to put Easter eggs into our games, but what if some of them were more than Easter eggs? What if it's all connected? And then he goes
like Tetris Effect. Okay.
Yes, we're all connected.
I'm with him. Yeah.
Like that full on. They are full on branding the Remedy multiverse here. He talks about how excited he is to get this off the ground. That they've been working on it for a while. That the AWE expansion is the first official Remedy Connected Universe crossover event, bringing more Alan Wake lore into Control. And this is still just a humble beginning. We're already hard at work on a future Remedy game that also takes place in this same universe. So,
do you think that all of the games take place in this universe?
I mean, every game they've ever made.
Yeah,
like that is exactly where I was going to go with this. Is like, I know Take-Two is a gigantic behemoth and who is all powerful, and that this would be very difficult on Remedy's part unless Take-Two just sees no value in the Max Payne IP. But do you think this leads to them trying to get Max Payne back?
I don't know. Maybe.
Like, I'm sure they would love for that to happen, right?
And do they have any control over Quantum Break?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because if you're doing crossover events, like, what else is on the Remedy?
Death Rally.
I want to say there are specific Quantum Break. I never played Quantum Break, and I certainly don't know like names of characters, but I could have sworn there is some very specific Quantum Break stuff in Control.
You might be right, but like, there's a difference between like having like nods and winks and references to a thing, and like, hey,
Max Payne's gonna drive around in a car with a machine gun on it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Death Rally was all right. That game's pretty fucking good. Death Rally was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, Alan Wake and Control are the most like cut from the same cloth of all the games they've made. Like they're both like very kind of spooky, supernatural, like Stephen King-ish type stuff. So that makes sense. But I don't know, man. This is kind of exciting.
Like I really like Control, but I just never got into Alan Wake. The gameplay of it just never really did anything for me, and I bounced off it real hard, real fast.
I went back and played some of the Steam version a couple years ago, and it's I don't know how well it holds up. Like
it hasn't aged well. I liked it a lot at the time, but even at the time, I was like, this is pushing it.
Yeah, I think the story stuff is good and continues to be good from what I remember of it. I didn't play through the whole thing again, but it's very combat heavy, and the combat is pretty one note.
I just never got into the cool story bits of Alan Wake because of just like everything about how it played and controlled and stuff. Just right out of the gate, I was like, dude, I don't want to do this.
Fucking Barry shows up wrapped in Christmas lights at the end. Like this stuff is so good. Yeah, this is cool though. I excited for Remedy. It seems like they kind of have had their ups and downs. over the last few years, but Control is strong as hell. And
I hope Control did well for that. Yeah, I don't know how well it sold or whatever, but like I love Control. What a great game. One of the thousands of games you can play.
That's right.
I should get
on
to
the
that
Xbox
DLC.
Series X.
Have they said? I wonder if that Series X version of Control is going to have the ray tracing enabled, or some version of it.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
The ray tracing stuff in that game was good.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Control is the best story, the best writing that they have done in a game. So, pretty excited to hear they're going to keep going in that direction. And that's it.